In a tragic incident, 6 people have died and 40 others were injured in a stampede in Tirupati as hundreds of devotees rushed to get their tickets as soon as the counters opened for Vaikuntha Darshanam at Lord Venkateswara Swamy temple on Tirumala Hills. In fact, Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu has visited the stampede site to review the logistics and also what really went wrong. I have my colleague Sam Daniel, who's been reporting from ground on this story. Sam, tell us what is the situation on ground now and what do we know about the Chief Minister's visit? And is there any thinking on what really went wrong? Is there any review of what really caused this?
Vasudha, we come to you from the ground zero, the TTD Devasthanam Park, adjoining the Naidu school in Tirupati, where 5 people died in that terrible tragedy last night. Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu was here nearly half an hour ago. He reviewed the situation, understood what kind of arrangements were made and what went wrong. We'll have to wait and watch what kind of changes the government would bring about and what kind of accountability would the government fix in terms of the loss of lives. He's expected to brief the media in a short while from now from another point. To give you a sense what went wrong here, Vasudha, this was used as a holding area by the police to hold more than 2,500 people last night because there were 90 counters at different locations to distribute more than 1 lakh tokens so that those devotees will be able to visit or have the darshan as part of the upcoming Vaikuntha Ekadasi occasion. And at one point, a woman waiting here suffered a health issue and she kind of collapsed in this area, because of which the police who were here had to open up the gate and let the lady go out for medical help. But at that time, hundreds of people who were waiting here, they all rushed outside, and this is exactly where the stampede took place, killing 5 people here. And now local residents have put up a banner here expressing their condolences. And the plan of the police was to let the people out in batches so that in groups, people will be able to go to this barricaded area to stand in a long queue and collect the tokens from different counters in the adjoining school. But when the gate was opened to help the lady, whether knowingly or unknowingly, is it a mob fury or people genuinely thought it was their turn to go out, they rushed outside, triggering a stampede, killing 5 people. And now the family members of those who lost their lives, they're asking tough questions. They allege that number one, there was no adequate police presence at this point here to regulate the crowd. Secondly, the ambulance came 20 minutes late, and that, they say, was another reason why it led to loss of lives. But the district collector has denied these allegations. He says enough police was deployed and they were actively regulating the crowd. Secondly, at every counter, ambulances were stationed. Because of the heavy crowd here, it took 20 minutes for the ambulance to reach. So this raises several questions in terms of adequate planning, in terms of adequate crowd management, in terms of providing access in a crowded location like this for ambulances to reach the spot in the case of an emergency. Now an investigation has been ordered, but the big question, will anyone be held accountable? Would lessons be learned? At the moment, Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu has visited the ground zero. He is also visiting the affected people in hospitals, after which they expect some kind of an announcement. But certainly many lessons ought to be learned to make sure in a famous temple like this, where for every season lakhs of devotees come, this could be averted. Many wonder why the authorities had reduced the number of days. Some say earlier the distribution of tokens for this occasion would be for 10 days. But this time they say it was reduced to 3 days, because of which the normal crowd that would stretch over 10 days had to come in 3 days' time, and that's why unusual crowds gathered these days, they say. Secondly, many are also asking why not switch to an online mode so that we can avert this kind of in-person large gatherings. But authorities say that could actually deprive the opportunity for a darshan for those who are not tech savvy, who are not connected to the internet, who may not have smartphones or computers at home. So to make it democratic, they say this kind of an in-person arrangement was made. Certainly, lots of investigation ought to be done, lots of questions need to be answered to make sure this does not happen again.
Right, Sam Daniel there reporting from Tirupati, from the site of the stampede, and raising some very important questions there. We know that the state government has been very proactive. Chandrababu Naidu, the Chief Minister, has already reached there. He is taking a review of the preparations and what really went wrong. But several questions being raised on why did this stampede occur when there were 94 counters, where the people not really informed about the other counters that were expected to open soon, and was the government not really completely prepared? Who in the administration will be held accountable for this? And all of this when it was expected that 7 lakh people could be attending Tirupati. Remember, this is the largest temple in the south of India, and this is also the season of mass religious festivals, including the Kumbh Mela or the Makara Deepam, and that is the crowd management should be the primary focus of all state administrations.